kind of have some visual, and it makes it really hard to plan.
And also, one last thing, it would be great if, like what you're saying, you're gonna get with the Terrenos, if you get with other neighboring people around there, cause hey, if the community can make some money off of it, you know, doing parking, why not?
The first year, the residents all around that area, they were all sitting outside and they offered parking for a small fee and
They
it's
do it,
perfectly legal too.
they do it everywhere else.
They
why
do
not?
it everywhere else.
I
They do
mean,
it everywhere else.
let our people make some money.
I I wanted to add one last thing that, I know the first 2 years was at Polo Patillo, last year we held it at the Civic Center. This event, I really feel that it's gonna be such a success, I'm gonna leave it there for the remainder of my contract. Pretty much, you know, I think the people or community, like Mr. Trevino said, the backlash. You know, why are we moving, and why over here, and why, we're never gonna satisfy everybody, and we can't satisfy everybody. You as council members, the same thing. Y'all go through it all the time, every day. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna leave it there for the next 3 years. Because I see a very successful festival on it.
Thank you.
Anything else, council? Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor.
The only one we have is the Clay Busters. I believe Mr. Beaver was taking his child to college this evening, so I believe, so. But that's the next item.
What's next time?
That's the next item. He'll get his chance.
I thought he was gonna speak for the Cleveland.
You're on the shot set. All right. Okay, so that, I can't remember the number, what that is,
I think it's $5,000.
5,000, yeah. It's been a pretty good event for the community. All right, with that, we're gonna move on to another presentation, item 6B, budget workshop for our fire fund for 23-24 fiscal year. Mr. Placido Aguilar, you have the floor.
They just wanna know how much money you need.
No.
What you got?
And as you're on your way up, Placido, we also appreciate what you and the firefighters do, especially like right now where you're diligently fighting these fires in this heat. It doesn't go without notice, so thank you.
So, most of our budget comes through the ESD, so everybody knows. Well, there's a lot of new faces, but the ESD provides, this year they're saying 110. So that's the majority, and it's all set already. The city is paying for a fire truck, which is 25,000, and then the Christmas stipend is 10,000, which is set for this year. We did not get it last year, but it's set for this year. So that's all we're asking for now. You know, there's a lot of things that the fire department needs. And one thing that the ESD is doing this year, and hopefully it goes well, they're trying to collect the 1.5 cent sales tax that's up there, but it's gotta go through a vote.
Yeah.
So, that 1.5 cent comes from the unincorporated, parts of the county, so we're not including the city. But everybody votes on it, so, you know, once it comes up, most of the money is already collected and it's going to the state and it's not coming to us. Amazon collects it, all the, utility, telephones, cell phones. So, you know, if we get past that and get everybody on board, you know, that would probably more than double the budget, on there. We have 18 guys right now, and it's a full crew right now, and I wanna say that, you know, all these 18 guys are active. We actually put a hold on taking members right now, because we do have 18 that are actually active, so, and that hasn't happened in a while. These guys, put their effort, you know, we average around 200 calls a year, and that's not hours, that's calls. You know, some calls could be 10 minutes, 30 minutes, some calls could be 3 hours, 4 hours. We expect these guys to come in, guys and gals, to come in once a week, to practice, you know, to get used to all the equipment. You know, and we ask them to come calls day and night, hot, cold, you know, dropping the bucket, whatever, you know, so these guys do a lot. So that's, you know, that's one of the things that I wanted to present to you guys. With that said, you know, we appreciate the truck, and of course, they're thinking maybe October, but it's not set in stone yet. So, once this comes through, of course, we're always gonna need equipment. All equipment's aging, equipment's getting, more expensive. So, we're hoping to push that tax. So,
Will that be next May?
they're trying to push it for November.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have to get it in, by the end of, I think by the 1st of September, something like that, to try to get it on.
And
But-
correct me if I'm wrong, but we're only like at 3 or 4 cents right now. And that, do you know what the tax rate is?
No,
It's
that's
same
the-
thing there. It's, what he's talking about is the unincorporated areas, it's a penny and a half. So we have our
It's
penny and a
sales
half,
tax.
so it's a sales tax, they would get a penny and a half of unincorporated.
Oh, okay, so the sales tax.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah, no, the actual ESD tax is 3 cents, and
okay.
that's further down the line. You know, they can collect 10 cents, but they're
So when you said it doubled, will it double in other words, generate another 110,000 or?
probably more.
Okay.
It'd be more mixed, we'll have to get into the
Okay.
math.
Yeah, they had some figures, but, I mean, it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so-
All right, so council, you're aware of what's coming up with that. All right, Placido, what else you got for us?
That's basically it. Other than that, you know, every department has a head, and it's getting harder and harder, to do the job. You know, my job, everything that these guys do, you know, I do it, and it's a total separate job than my regular job, and I'm doing it for nothing. Sooner or later, y'all gonna have to hire an administrator for the fire, because it's getting hard. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot, but, I mean, you know, I have a 9-to-5 job, and then I gotta pay all the bills, buy everything, make sure the guys have everything, and then I gotta make sure the bills get paid, and once the bills get paid, I gotta take it to the ESD and get it collected back to them, so, you know, and it's not just here in Pearsall, you know, we rotate, going to Moore, Bigfoot, Dilly every month, so, you know, it takes time. You know, it's a full-time job, and that's something to look at, you know, for next year or down the road.
20 years from now.
Yeah.
Placido, again, we're very grateful and recognize the sacrifice that you make for the community, and all of us are indebted in that regard, because without y'all, we couldn't get insurance for various other things and the security that brings, so thank you. Again, very well noticed. Appreciate
Any
it.
questions?
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, item 6C, discussion.
Not there, I think Bianca's going to do a presentation on the.
So for the fire fund, just to be clear, there's 110 came from the ESD, and then 10 come from the city, and then we also matched the 25,000 for the fire truck from the IMS. So they're budgeted at 120, unless anything changes for the ESD. But that's it for us.
All right, Ms. Bianca has the floor, talking about the related events for the 23-24 fiscal year. And Bianca, welcome.
Thank
Good to see you.
Hi
Still
there.
here?
Still here.
Thankfully.
2 more weeks, hopefully. Okay, so in your packets, you should have this paper, the City of Pearsall events. As y'all can see, we keep pretty busy with these events. Practically every month, we're either attending or hosting something. I just wanted to give you all a rundown of you know, a little bit of what it is that we have to budget for, and I was wanting you all's input for us budgeting for any other events for this year.
Quick question, what page is it on?
John,
This is the
53.
original package.
53.
Yes.
So we usually, host, you know, our usual events, which is the Christmas, event, the parade, the toy drive. PD does Blue Santa, all that stuff, so we're gonna be preparing for all of that within the coming months. But, just so so that we're not caught off guard next year, we're wanting to discuss, you know, if you all are wanting to budget for any other events. I know this year we planned 4th of July pretty short notice. So if that's something that you all are wanting for us to do in the future, if you all can let us know so we can better prepare for these events.
All in all, I think, Bianca, correct me if I'm wrong, I think including the 4th of July this
Yep.
year, I think the budget, give or take, is around between $30,000 to $40,000 for these events. So that's what we have in our budget. We distribute the expense, well, I say equally, Parks, PD, admin, we all kind of share some of those costs, but that's what we do. That doesn't include any labor costs, that's just strictly what money we spent for events. Yes, that excludes the Hispanic Heritage, excuse me. So it's, we're talking, we include the Hispanic Heritage, we're talking over $140,000.
Thank you.
So council, you have any other specific, events that you would like to see us, celebrate or address?
Well, we'll be more than happy to exclude events out of this, we would like for us to do that.
I think if we want any more events, we should push it onto the chamber,
Okay.
get them rolling.
Well, we spent, this year again, on the 4th of July, we spent about $10,000 on that. Nobody not felt that way, but we did. So in saying that, that's an event that we have here. We will keep that at $10,000. Again, it all revolves around the dollar, right? How much we really want to put out and spend, but that's what we spend on. So in saying that, we want to see a bigger event, we need to start talking money.
I think we need a few more bigger events, honestly. At least one or two more bigger events, so that we can start drawing in that attention into our hotels with bigger events such as like the Hispanic Heritage Festival.
So you have a
Now,
in mind?
I will tell you one thing, that the county is gonna come forward and wants to partner up with the city for a big Veterans Day event.
Okay.
That includes a parade, ending it with the festival at the end. That's something that, Judge has brought to my attention to bring it to the table, so right there is the collaboration for the county itself and the city of Pearsall. So that's one, and then July the 4th is where we just, at the last minute, I think something bigger
Okay.
within it's another, one of the two that I would propose myself. November and then July.
And I think that's a great idea, reach out to the chamber and incorporate them and just get that,
Do that ball rolling.
get their face out there, what they're doing.
I mean, maybe it would be a great idea to get the county and the city to help the chamber, that way they can get things going.
We just need to take it to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And I know y'all had mentioned like the potato fest and stuff like that, that would be something good that we could all collaborate on maybe
Yeah.
with the county.
And to keep that in mind, council, again, anything we pull, it's a head to bed, we can pull out hotel funds. Again, we could, if it's not, we pull out a general fund, which means there's an expense, but there also has to be either a revenue or cutting something else. We'll make sure we're clear. That's what we have to do.
Alrighty.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Bianca. All right, moving on to item 6C, discussion regarding tax budget planning calendar for fiscal year 23-24. That is on page 57, city manager. 58. James, you have the floor.
All right, for the planning calendar, we have the planning calendar for today, we have the collection rate, the calculation of no new revenue rate, and the voters rate. For the 14th, we'll have the tax rate, I don't know what page it's on.
On the,
58,
Okay, on your book, it's on page 58.
it's page 58, yeah.
For August 14, we'll have the tax rate, but on the 14th also, we'll have the budget workshop, the 14th and the 15th, for both the utility and the general fund. You see the public hearing announcements on there. So on the 24th is the public hearing announcement for the notice. And, what I'm gonna notice, the 1st of September is the actual hearing.
No, it's a fifth, Judge.
Okay, I'm sorry. The fifth is the hearing to adopt the rate. And then, on the eighth, will be the notice to adopt the rate if it wasn't adopted previously, or on the twelfth.
So the twelfth, you're looking at adopting, that's your regular council meeting, you're looking at adopting the budget and the tax rate on September twelfth. So,
Yes, is that right?
yes, sir. Yes.
All right, great. Everybody mark those dates down. Big items next week with our workshop on the 14th or 15th. That's gonna be critical. And again, please study your budget. Anything else on the calendar, Finance Director?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Item 6D, I think you're up next for that as well. Submission of no new revenue rates, voter approval rate for the city of Pearsall for 23-24. Finance Director?
All right, so for the 2023 tax rates, this year's no new revenue tax rate is the 8.45267. And this year's voter approval rate is 806244, with both of them being within compliance of the tax rate for this year.
And just to add, council, the proposed rate for this year, what's in the budget is our same tax rate that we had last year, which is 866, whatever that is, 86624, something like that.
So it's the same tax rate, it's 866624.
That's the proposed tax rate that's in the budget for this year.
And the reason that you see these declines is because our tax base got a bump, which we're very fortunate and appreciative of. So, again, the budget is, we're keeping the same tax rate, and because of our bump in the tax base, it's gonna generate, some additional revenue, but we're not raising the tax rate. Any questions for the Finance Director? Hearing none, okay, we'll move on. Again, this is just a presentation item. All right, thank you, Finance Director. Next item, budget workshop to discuss TERS, CDBG, and ARP for fiscal year 23-24. Is that you or is that, okay?
Okay.
Finance Director, again, please, sir.
I'm cheering you on.
Okay, and this will be on, item page 61, council.
So for the TERS, we had the TERS in there, but we actually got our certified value, so we have put 155 in the budget, but it's actually gonna be approximately about 176. So between that, we're gonna split it between the consultant and projects. So that's the budget for that, so the TERS. That's, your Fund 91. And, CDBG, we have 70,000 budgeted, that's our part of the grant match. The total grant match for that was, 70,000 for us, and then for the project, I can't remember what the.
$240,000.
That's at the wastewater plant, isn't that right? Yeah. The CBDG grant, that's for the wastewater.
Bar Stream,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, yeah, for the bar screen. And then for the ARP, we actually have some changes to the numbers, we have 106. Actually, I'll go with the total first, it's a 458 total for the ARP. 106 for consultants, and then the tank replacement and repairs is 352, which is our part to the match. So that's what we have for the ARP, and that will exhaust that. And that's what we got for those two funds.
Mayor and Council, just summarize a couple of things. On the TERS, we're having revenues that are coming into the TERS, okay? Make sure the county has submitted, they gave us, I think $50,000 last year. We don't have a commitment yet for this year. We are proposing to put in about $170,000 this year, which grand total, which we're having in the fund, is probably gonna be, actually this year, almost close to $400,000. We do not have any projects identified. What I mean by that is the revenues are there, so you have some money. If you want to consider projects in the TERS zone, I don't have a map with me, but it's here somewhere. Anyway, so you have some money. It's almost kind of odd, but we actually we do have a little bit of money to consider projects. And again, those projects are public improvement projects. So we're not talking about building on private property. We're talking public, build a water line, sewer line, drainage, that kind of stuff. And then the other part is on the TERS, on the ARP funding. Part of what we're doing is using some of those funds for the tank rehabilitation. So you should see brand new tank, the rehab of the tank at the Colorado and the Cherry plant this year. You also, the other part that we talked about was doing the street lights, the LED lights.